It's Divas That Care Radio. Stories, strategies, and ideas to inspire positive change. Welcome to Divas That Care, a network of women committed to making our world a better place for everyone. This is a global movement for women, by women, engaged in a collaborative effort to create a better world for future generations. To find out more about the movement, visit divasthatcare.com after the show. Right now, though, stay tuned for another jolt of inspiration.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Divas That Care. My name is Candice Gish. If this is your very first time tuning into the Divas That Care, a huge welcome. We are now in our 14th year. We're listened to in over 30 countries around the world, and it's because of all of our amazing tribe, our guests, everybody that's been a part of this journey. It's been a lot of fun, guys, and I'm so excited that you have joined us today. For all of our other returning listeners, thank you so much. It's because of you that we are continuing to do this. All right, guys, I am excited. We're going to be welcoming a brand new diva to our family, Lauren Arthur. She is just an amazing individual. I had the opportunity to go through her website, and it was absolutely breathtaking. And I got goosebumps, honestly, just because I was so excited about what she was going to be talking about today. So welcome to the program, Lauren.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's very exciting.
Oh my goodness. As we were talking beforehand, I am just so excited. You are so unique in the fact that I haven't had the opportunity to interview anybody like you. So this is going to be so much fun.
Oh, nice. I'm unique. Okay, I can't wait.
Well, we love unique. That's what we're all about. We celebrate that to the fullest. So,
Great.
Lauren, would you mind doing a quick introduction of yourself?
Sure, absolutely. I'm now almost 40. I hate to say that, but anyway. And, my career really started when I went to university at 17, which is just so unbelievably young. That's the age that you go to university when you're Scottish, and I'm naturally from Scotland. So you're sort of told to make a career choice when you're not even legal to drink in the UK, which I just find mind-blowing. Luckily, I chose the right career. Many people didn't, of course, because they're naturally so young. But luckily I did. I just always wanted to work with animals. And it was actually marine biology that I wanted to specialize in. Although I did grow up in Scotland, there is an ocean there. It's a very cold one, but it's there. And I grew up on the east coast of Scotland. So we spent all our time in the ocean. And I was just obsessed, even though it was freezing. And I literally shiver to think about it now. I spent all my sort of holidays and any time away from school in that ocean. But when I went to university, you obviously do your first basic year, and I was advised actually to maybe don't specialize straight away. Maybe choose a broader subject like zoology, which will incorporate marine biology, but you get a little bit of everything. So you get that foundation, you get that sort of really holistic knowledge of everything, rather than just jumping in and specializing in marine biology. And honestly, that was the best. So I did my undergrad in zoology. Loved it, went to the Amazon rainforest to work on a research project, just had the time of my life, basically. But I did decide to take a year out. I thought, no, I need to just think about what I want to do with my life. So in that year out, I went to Fiji and I became a qualified rescue diver and just fell in love with the ocean, worked on a research project. So after that, it was really, I have to go back and really focus on marine biology. So long story short, I studied marine biology, and that led me to working in the Maldives for 8 years as a marine biologist. Again, it was the hardest decision of my life to leave the Maldives. It's a very big part of me. It was such a fulfilling, amazing time of my life, but I did reach the top of my field. I did sort of realize that I was maybe at the top of my ladder and I needed a challenge. So I decided to just leave after 8 years, which was very hard, and just take some time out. And I saw this crazy job advert for a marine expert, someone that's going to go underwater and talk live to an audience. So you're underwater, but you're literally talking in real time to a live audience. And I thought, oh my goodness, that sounds crazy. Never going to get it, but I'm just going to apply.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But I got the job, and it was with a company called Wild Earth. And it was just such a great, successful project that they actually asked me to come and work on their African project. as a live TV presenter, knowing absolutely nothing about Africa. And that was just the whole journey. And it was a challenging one, which was really what I needed. And I'm still living in the African bush 6 years later, and I don't think I'm ever going to leave.
Oh my goodness. I think you're living the dream of a lot of individuals. And I am absolutely blown away, to be able to have that type of adventure. Like that's what you live in, an adventurous life. And I'm just so envious of you right now.
Yeah, I'm living my dream. Obviously, everyone's dreams are different, but it's definitely my dream. And it took a lot to get here. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't
Mhm.
easy. But I do feel, I visioned this, I manifested this, and here I am. And it's a lot of hard work, but I made it happen.
Good for you. What an inspirational story just in that. For all of our listeners today, I mentioned to you before that my daughters, this is the ultimate dream of theirs to be able to do something like that. They're
Oh,
constantly talking about how they wish they could travel the world, to be with animals, to see different things. And I'm like, I'm going to share this amazing recording with them afterwards because I think they're going to be blown away with what you've done already.
oh, that's so sweet.
Oh my goodness, no, like it is honestly, it is a great thing to be able to inspire the youth of today to be able to see what you can possibly do with your life. And you're now in Africa, or South Africa, which is absolutely amazing because you have a filmmaking adventure that you're starting now. Let's talk a little bit about this amazing course that you're going to be offering.
Absolutely. So just a little bit of background. When I did move to Africa, I worked for the same company, Wild Air TV, for 6 years. And it's basically a live TV show that anyone in the world can jump on Safari and just join in for the journey. But what's amazing about it is it's real. It's completely live. There are no sort of polished edits, BBC looking documentaries. It's real. You follow along for fun. You see the bloopers, you see the mistakes, you see the heartbreak, you see the joy. And all the naturalists that do work on the show, which I was, are really invested and immersed in the wild, and they do their best to educate a global audience. And for me, that's really important. So naturally, it's just you and your cameraman, and you're out there in the wild, real rain, hail, or sun. It's really difficult conditions sometimes, and it's just the two of you for 8 hours a day. So you're going to either love each other or hate each other, and that is pretty much where I met my love. He is an incredible
Awesome.
wildlife filmmaker. He's been filming wildlife for well over 8, 9 years. And the two of us met, and naturally we did fall in love, but this is not a love story. We just understood that we work incredibly well together. We understand each other. And when we were sort of thinking about what we wanted to do next, we realized that we have a lot between the two of us. We have a lot to share with the world. There is so much to learn about the natural world, and I definitely don't even know half of it, but I have got more experience than most, and all I want to do is educate. So we see sort of crews of filmmakers coming in and out of South Africa all the time, which is wonderful, but not all of them are prepared for the wild. So if you study in the UK, for example, for a course and you become an incredible filmmaker, that doesn't mean you're going to be ready to film wild animals, not in captivity, not in a cage, completely wild. So we created this course. It's actually South Africa's first immersive course. And what I mean by immersive is that we're pulling on all our skills and some skills of other people around us to really teach people what it's like to be in the wild, understand the wild, and film in the wild. So once you complete our 4-week course, you're going to really leave having a very sort of panoramic, all-round knowledge of the natural world around you. And that's what we strive. We want to create sort of the next generation of wildlife filmmakers.
Wow. So is there any prerequisites to be a part of this?
Absolutely not. You can be a complete beginner. You don't even have to understand how a camera turns on. The only limitation we do have is that you must be over 18. Just a little bit too much of a liability to take anyone under 18 into an extremely wild area. But
Yeah.
other than that, everyone is welcome. We've got students coming in August that are really young, they're early 20s. And then we've got some students coming next year that are in their 60s. So everyone and anyone is welcome. And that's another one of our drives. We quite a lot of things can be exclusive to some people, whereas this course is literally welcome to everyone. And even if you don't want to become a wildlife filmmaker, that's okay. You're going to spend 4 weeks in the African wild learning about filmmaking. Maybe it'll just help you in your photography, although we won't be directly teaching photography. It'll maybe just give you a creative eye. It'll maybe just give you that understanding of how documentaries are made, or it'll maybe just give you a more immersive understanding of the environment around you, of the wild.
How many students are you wanting to have be a part of this? Is there like a cutoff?
Yes, so we will run 4-week courses and we can only have 8 students at a time. So it's a very sort of intimate experience, and each student will have one-to-one mentor time with the mentor on a sort of weekly, daily basis. So it's not going to be one of these jam-packed courses where you don't really know, the other students are moving too fast for you or the pace is not right.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be very, very intimate.
And what's included in this package?
Pretty much everything except your international flights and your sort of domestic travel to get to the bush. Everything is all inclusive. So all your private luxury tented accommodation, 24-hour support, Starlink Wi-Fi, all your food and snacks and drinks, except alcohol. That's on you. Laundry, your mentoring, or the workshops or the master classes that you will attend, access to the Wild Screen Network, who we partnered with,
Wow.
all the activities, and of course your game drives. You'll be out in the field every single day except Sunday. We're going to let you just rest a little bit on Sundays, but otherwise, it's all inclusive.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like so much fun. So can you run us through what a typical day is going to look like for our listeners?
Absolutely. You are going to go through a program. There's a syllabus, but generally a typical day, you will wake up before sunrise. So you've got to be ready for early morning starts, because sunrise and sunset is your prime time in the bush. That's when most of the animals that you want to see are going to be active. So you really need to maximize that time. It gets very hot very quickly here. So you need to be up before sunrise. You need to have your coffee and be ready to face the world. There'll be a bums on seat time when you must be in your seat. There'll be a prep time. Every student will have sort of different tasks to get the vehicle ready. We've actually modified a Range Rover into our filming vehicle, and it's incredible. It's completely modified for wildlife filmmaking. And then you go out into the field, and you will either follow up on tracks if you come across tracks, or you will listen and you hear the lion calls, you try and follow up on the audio, or maybe that day you're just going to sit by the dam. You're just going to sit at the water hole, not move, and just see what comes down. You're maybe going to practice filming birds. You're maybe going to practice time lapses, long lens work, macro work. So there's going to be all sorts of techniques that you'll be working on, different cameras that you'll operate, and you'll just learn how to put together a story from the wild. So really, there's no typical day. But then you come back, and then everyone will have a big communal brunch. It'll be a really healthy communal brunch. Everyone will sit around the table. There may be a lecture in the afternoon. Then you will get some downtime because you're up early. There's a swimming pool, there's a private yoga deck, there's gym equipment, there's a running track, there's also your beds if you want to take a delicious afternoon nap. And then, of course, you must be awake for the sunset drive. Everyone's going to go back into the field. You may be filming something different. You may be continuing to film the lions. Everyone will be working on their own stories, so that will be taken into consideration into who's filming what. And then in the evening, everyone will probably come back ravenous, so it'll be a communal dinner around the fire. South Africans love to braai. That's basically the word for barbecue. They're very serious about it, and it's a lovely sort of community feel when everyone sits and eats around the fire. And then people can have a glass of wine or two, or they can hit the sack because you're going to be up early again the next morning.
That sounds like so much fun.
It does.
It is amazing. What is your website so our listeners can go and check that out?
Absolutely. It's obviously, I don't even think you need to say www dot anymore, but anyway, it's twowild.co. Apparently, co is the new .com. So it's twowild.co.
First, when is this project starting?
It's properly starting in September this year. We're just ready to kick off. We are doing a bit of a soft launch in August, but September we'll be ready to welcome anyone. And I do literally mean anyone. And it's just going to be so exciting to bring people from all around the world together and just to spend so much time with wildlife.
Oh,
I
yes.
mean, this is not a 2, 3 day safari. This is every single day in the field.
Mhm.
So yeah, September is the day.
Is this something you're going to be doing year round, or are you just going to do a couple of courses every year?
There's going to be many courses in the year. There will be gaps, but there'll be many courses, at least 8 throughout the year. So you can choose your season. South African season is sort of the opposite of the UK. I don't know where all the listeners are from, but it's basically very hot, wet summers from about December right through to April. And then it's very sort of cooler but warm, dry winters, which is the best time to come to the bush from about May to November.
Oh,
And
wow.
although it's very chilly in the evening and chilly in the morning when you first wake up, it really heats up. And the bush is sort of less thick. It's not as dense anymore because all the trees have lost their leaves, the grass is dying off. So you can really see very far. And of course, the water levels drop. So this is the sort of season that many animals will congregate around specific water holes. So the sightings become very intense. You'll see lots of predators fighting one another. So although it's cold, in my opinion, it's definitely worth it.
Well, coming from North America myself, I think that would be absolutely warm for me. So I would be like all over that.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. So, Lauren, I know this is a huge part of your life, but I want to ask you, what other things do you do? What other things are you passionate about that you'd love to share with our listeners?
Absolutely. My whole life, I realized really focuses on wildlife. I realized just every part of me is about animals. My partner David and I, we go regularly around the world on our own backs to film series, to teach people, to educate people about maybe animals that they've never heard of before. For example, one time a few years ago, just before the pandemic hit, we thought, where shall we go on vacation? And then we just decided to go in Ethiopia, which is extremely random. But we decided, let's have a holiday, but let's also go film the really rare and endangered Ethiopian wolf. There's only 500 left, and it's Ethiopia's most endangered carnivore. So off we went and we found them and we lived up a mountain and it was just crazy. And WWF were so impressed at what we did, they actually published our series. So that's passion for me. I'm still going out with my partner and we're still
Yep.
filming, but we're also having fun. And then we're educating people. So that's one of the things. And secondly, we are actually offering retreats at the same camp, which is not supposed to confuse people. We have this beautiful camp in the middle of the wild, and when it's not being used for the film school, it's still an absolutely luxurious, beautiful camp. So we will be hosting retreats where we're going to combine yoga, hypnotherapy, and all these sort of wellness practices with the natural world. So we're going to take people on a journey to sort of really tune themselves into the frequency of the earth, which a lot of us have forgotten. A lot of us consider ourselves very separate from animals and very separate from the natural world, and that's not the case. And we want to bring you back to it. We want to take you on a really immersive experience where you'll dig for water. You'll go on a blindfold safari where we won't let you see anything. We'll go on silent safaris. You'll sleep in a tree house, completely unfenced, very wild above the dam, all sorts of things. And it's just to bring you back to yourself. That's one of my other passions. I'm not the best at yoga or the best at meditation, but when you do it out here, it's really on a different level. You're on nature's frequency.
Well, Lauren, this has been such an amazing conversation with you today. I'm absolutely blown away. Something exactly what we want to share with all of our listeners. What an amazing adventure. And to be able to immerse ourselves into something like this, just to get away from our day-to-day lives and to experience this is just extraordinary. I can't wait to share all of your social media links with all of our listeners around the world.
Oh, thank you. That's really appreciated.
Well, thank you so much, Lauren. I do hope that you come back on the Divas that Care, and so that we can have another conversation and, maybe explore further into everything that you've done as a wildlife, filmmaker, photographer, maybe talk about your experiences through the different things with Wild Earth TV. I would love to kind of go more in depth with that too in future shows.
Absolutely. I've got so much to say, so many crazy stories. Yes, many wild experience. So I'd love to come back and share that with you all.
Oh, that's wonderful. Is there any last minute? I love to ask our guests if there's any tips things that they want to share with our listeners that could happen, perhaps inspire them to get into the wildlife photography or filmmaking industry, or just to pursue zoology and marine biology or anything like that? Is there any kind of tips that you could offer them?
I think the best advice is to really follow your own heart. I remember being young, and I think my parents probably wished I wanted to be a forensic scientist at one point, or become a vet, which is obviously still wildlife, or maybe a doctor. It was quite a risky move, to go into the wildlife space. It is highly competitive. It's very fashionable on social media, but don't let that put you off. Follow your heart. If that's what you want to do, really figure out what is your superpower, what element of conservation you want to go into, and just pursue it. You will not regret it. If it's meant for you, it won't go past you. And just try and get as much experience in the wild as possible. Textbooks are only the foundation. They're only giving you the basics. You really need to be in the field to fully understand and become sort of much better at what you want to do.
Oh, thank you so much for that beautiful advice. I really like it.
Oh, you're welcome. It's great to be here.
It was wonderful chatting with you. I am so happy. And thank you for taking the time, being on the other side of the world. Sometimes it's a challenge to be able to do podcasts like ours. And I am so grateful that you've joined me today.
Oh, thank you so much. And hopefully we'll chat again.
We will definitely be doing that. And to all of our amazing listeners, thank you so much for tuning in today. I know that this has been such an adventurous call, because that's what it is. I get so excited when I'm able to chat with new, amazing, inspiring divas out there. And we're so happy that Lauren is a part of our diva family now. Hopefully you'll all go and check out everything that Lauren is doing. I'm going to be posting a lot of different links for her. So I know there's going to be different things that you guys can go and check out. Please pass them on to your friends and family. And I hope that you're able to connect with her soon. So thank you, Lauren. Thank you to all of our listeners. And remember to do something kind. Until next time, everyone.
Thanks for listening. This show was brought to you by Divas That Care. Connect with us on Facebook, on Instagram, and of course on divasthatcare.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter so you don't miss a thing.